Welcome to another episode of Ontomato. Ontomato is an Igbo Nigerian word that means long life to you, but actually has a deeper meaning. Words of wisdom that I share with you that you can add to your repertoire. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is going to be an exciting show because I have an exciting guest today, Dr. Imani Ma'at, who is going to really share some wonderful information that's going to help you reconsider how you take care of your health. Welcome to the Ndomodu TV. We are going to be exploring today the wonderful and fascinating world of A.L.I.C.E, which stands for Artificial Life Form for Intelligent Care and Empowerment, and its use of plant frequencies for healing. In a time that most of us are not paying attention to our health, this is very, very important. It's more crucial than ever right now that we need to pay attention to our well-being and embrace every opportunity to heal ourselves. Many people overlook the connection between health and the quality of life that they experience, often taking their vitality for granted. Today, we'll discuss how A.L.I.C.E can serve as a powerful tool in your wellness journey, helping you tap into the natural healing properties of plants and enhancing your overall health. I'm certainly looking forward. God knows I could use it. Join us as we uncover this unique self-care approach that's transformative and potentially will change your life from what you hear about this product today. But before I bring my guest in, or rather before I show you this product, let me introduce you to the individual, Dr. Imani Ma'at. Let me briefly introduce her. Dr. Ma'at is a fascinating, she's been a friend of mine for a long time, and she always has wonderful things to share. And so this is another exciting thing that she's brought to my attention. I said, oh, wait a minute, we've got to talk about it. She's a speaker, she's an author, she's a podcast co-host, wellness coach. Her company is the Sankofa Institute for Wellness. She's the CEO and co-founder. Her educational degree is from Mount I think it's Holyoke, if I'm not mistaken. She got her BA there, Harvard University MED, MIT Master of City Planning, and Columbia University Teachers College, ED, Doctor in Education. It is indeed my honor and pleasure to welcome her. But if I may read just a little bit more, because she has quite an impressive resume and a bio, rather. If I Dr. Ma'at Keynes is the Progressively Yours Health and Wellness podcast. Through her company, Sankofa Institute for Wellness, she promotes health and wellness from a holistic perspective, using various strategies, including coaching and red light therapy. She told me about the red light therapy. I haven't had the chance to go, but I really do want to experience that, which is effective in assisting the body in healing itself at the cellular level. Sankofa also provides wellness consultations and education for nonprofit organizations. That'll be of interest to me because I have a nonprofit organization. She has 22 years of experience as a health scientist and program director at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Dr. Ma'at Keynes taught as an adjunct professor at the Morehouse School of Medicine. Her words, my God, she has so much, I can only name just a few of them. She created the Healthy Haiku approach, which is an award-winning education program deemed as such from a postdoc fellowship from Morehouse School of Medicine, Tuskegee University, and the University of Alabama, Birmingham. She has published several books in Healthy Haiku series and has held numerous workshops and classes. Dr. Ma'at Keynes was also the first director of the CDC program titled Racial and Ethnic Approaches to Community Health, reached 2010, for which she received numerous awards. It is my pleasure to welcome Imani Ma'at. There she is. Just a minute. I'm going to bring her in. Ah, how are you? How are you? Sorry for the delay. How you doing, Dr. Max?
I
So
am
good to
so
have you here.
well.
So good to have you here.
I'm so well.
How
Thank you
is
so
it
much. Hmm?
going?
All is well. Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful introduction.
Beautiful, beautiful day we're having today, isn't it?
It is.
A wonderful day here in Georgia, and you're here in Georgia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video, and then I'll come back, and then we'll talk about this video, the product itself, and then we'll continue with our conversation. Okay?
This is going to blow
Here
your
we go.
mind. Imagine your phone as your personal doctor. Introducing A.L.I.C.E. A.L.I.C.E stands for Artificial Liaison Intelligent Computing Enumeration System. It's a groundbreaking artificial intelligence that uses plant frequencies to heal the human body. How, you ask? By analyzing all 11 systems within your body and helps facilitate repairs one system at a time. Imagine having a back injury from a car accident. A.L.I.C.E can help with that. Not only does it address injuries, but it also boosts your immune system. In global catastrophes where resources are thin, A.L.I.C.E preserves energy signatures of supplements and administers them via your smartphone. Just add distilled water. This tech makes healthcare accessible anywhere, anytime. By simply placing your phone over your chest, A.L.I.C.E gets to work. Vitamins and nutrients delivered directly. We've been transmitting supplements globally for 2 years. The future isn't just coming, it's here. Dive into the limitless possibilities with A.L.I.C.E.
My goodness, that is quite fascinating. Very fascinating. So I'm just excited for you to talk to
Sure.
us about it. But let me ask you the background and the inspiration. What inspired Alice? How does he use plant frequencies for healing?
Let me say the question again, Dr. Ua. So you're asking
I
how.
said, how did using plant frequencies for healing come about?
Well, Dr. Samuel Peters is a naturopathic doctor here in Atlanta, who I had the pleasure of. Actually, we've never met face to face. We have met online several times, but a good friend called me and she told me about him. And I said, wow, that sounds amazing. She told me about his technology. She sent me some videos. And I didn't realize she was recruiting me to help share his information with the world, with the country and the world. Dr. Peters is a phenomenal doctor. He has helped so many people. He's A.L.I.C.E AI is one of his more recent creations, which his company's been using for about 2 years now, all over the world. So it's been tried and tested. But he's created numerous formulas using plant frequencies and other devices, and he's even used a red light therapy and some other things that have led him up to the point of A.L.I.C.E AI. I would like to read one disclaimer before we even get too far into the conversation. So, and I think this is important. So, A.L.I.C.E AI disclaimer: results from advanced engineer energy therapy sessions may vary from person to person. While many individuals experience positive outcomes, advanced energy therapy is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Advanced energy therapy, which is what A.L.I.C.E AI is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. It is a tool to promote relaxation, stress reduction, and overall well being. If you have specific health concerns, please consult your healthcare practitioner. So I just wanted to give the disclaimer because it is very, very important. Dr. Samuels is not, Dr. Peters is not a medical doctor, nor am I. I'm a health educator, health scientist. So it's very important to say that these are alternative ways for people to consider helping the body to heal itself. Our bodies are designed to heal themselves. So, and I have looked into a number of uh, technology and devices and things that can help us assist our friends, family, and clients to achieve a more optimal level of health and wellness without, in addition to or as an alternative to, regular prescription medications or surgery or, those things. So this is not to replace those things, but this is an option for people to consider. So I just wanted to put that out there. So Dr. Peters is an amazing, amazing doctor, naturopathic doctor, who has shared so much with the world. And when I was first brought in to look at this and consider sharing it with friends, family, and clients, I thought it was amazing. But even then, I wasn't totally convinced. And so it took me, my husband and I started using it on ourselves and seeing some results. We weren't trying to work on any particular health issue or challenge, but as we started sharing it, and you can share this over the phone because everything is energy. Energies have frequencies, and so you can, whatever you're doing to yourself, you can do over the phone, and you also will achieve the same results. So Alice has a couple of programs that actually scan, and you may have heard it in the video was quick, but there's a couple of programs at Alice uh, Treatment Online and Advanced Alice Therapy Online, and they basically those two programs scan the 11 body systems. And let me just tell you what those systems are so that you can understand this is the real deal, because it each one
Good.
each one plays for the regular one is 15 minutes, the longer one is 18 minutes. Those 11 systems are ready. The circulatory system
Yes.
that has to do with transporting blood, nutrients, gases, and waste. The respiratory system that facilitates the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The digestive system that breaks down food and absorbs nutrients. The nervous system that controls and coordinates bodily functions and activities. The endocrine system that produces hormones that regulate various body processes. The skeletal system, so that includes back pain and stuff like that, provides structure and support and protects organs. The muscular system, which allows for movement and maintains posture. The integumentary system, I had never heard that word before, protects the body, regulates temperature, and prevents water loss. Very important, includes the skin, the hair, and the nails. The lymphatic system, which defends against infection and disease and transport lymph throughout the system. The reproductive system, which of course is responsible for producing offspring, and the urinary system, which removes waste products from the blood and regulates the water balance. So when you run this scan, when you run these two treatments, they scan through these 11 body systems and start making adjustments where Alice finds that something is off a little bit. So we've run Alice AI the treatments, and people have. I'll give you one example. I've got many examples. I was at a wellness at a festival not too long ago, and a young man who works with us, I was telling him about Alice. He says, "Oh, I want to try it." So I ran the 15-minute Alice online therapy, and as I was running it, he was. I mean, we're sitting out in the sunlight. It was a beautiful day, And he kept nodding and his eyes were closing. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? He says, I don't know. I'm just so tired. I can't stay awake. And I said, how much sleep did you get last night? He said, well, not much. I said, well, Alice AI has figured that out, and she's trying to tell you you need to go to sleep. And we laughed about it, but I mean, I had no expectation in terms of this doing anything for him. Another friend, she was in North Carolina. I ran the therapy on her, and I asked her. I said, "Is there anything that you're working on, or that you need help with?" She says, "Well, I've been constipated for a while, and dealing with the elimination problems." And I said, "Oh," and I was fairly new to using Alice at the time, and I looked down the list of options, and digestive aid was one of those. And I said, "I think you need some digestive aid. Let's try this one." A 1-minute program, which is based again on plant frequencies. So it's plant essences basically that are being transported to her or shared with her. And I ran the program for 1 minute. And after that, I was on a conference call, and my friend was literally blowing up my phone. Dr. Imani, I've been to the bathroom 3 times. Oops, I had to go again. Okay, that makes 4 times. And I said, okay, are you okay? She said, yeah, I feel really good. I said, okay, well, you were probably full of stuff. So it did what you needed for it to do. And I think so. I think that example and some of the others inspired me to use it even more and to just try out the different options that are on the screen. So, question, Dr.
How what okay, let's say somebody has high blood pressure. Does that help with that?
There is a setting for
If somebody has like high blood pressure?
Yes. Let me show you.
Yeah, in other words, share all this.
I don't know if you can see. I have it on my tablet. I was trying to make it big. There is, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see? So, yeah, I don't know. It's picking up picking up the screen. But there is a setting for blood pressure balance. So people have used that to achieve more balance in their blood pressure. So many people, I mean, stress is the number one.
How does that work?
You basically.
How does that work?
Basically, you touch the program for blood pressure, and it will tell you blood pressure balance helps manage hypertension. It gives the body specific energy signature that helps to thin the blood and soften the arteries and blood vessels. This energy signature helps to repair damage caused by hypertension, which can improve circulation and normalize cholesterol and manage blood pressure over time. So it basically tells you what to do. Generally, if I'm doing it on myself, I actually use this cute little device, which is a speaker, so that because you're hearing the sound of the frequencies. So I just run it through, for myself, I would run it through my speaker. If I'm sharing it with somebody, say I'm sending it to you, Dr. Uwa, I'd be talking to you on the phone, right? And I would say, drink a little bit of water, because we know that water is a very important conductor of energy, and you want to be well hydrated when you use the system. So I'd say drink some water, lay back a little bit, and put your phone on your chest. And when you do that, you're gonna have the screen facing up, and you're gonna hear the tones. I can play it. I don't know if it's gonna come through very well on here, but it actually speaks to you. It's gonna tell you the name of the program, and then it's going to run. This one runs for a minute. It's gonna run. It's gonna just cut off after a minute. The longer ones will say, it'll tell you the name of the program, and then it'll say you have 6 minutes left, and you lay there, and sometimes people fall asleep while they're listening to the frequencies. Let me just see if I can start. Blood pressure. It asks you, do you really want to begin the session? And I say, yes, let's start.
Transmitting blood pressure balance.
So when the program is playing, the important thing is that it's touching the person while it's playing. 2 people can use it at the same time. And I'm going to turn it off because we're not really running it on anyone right now. Okay. Maybe I can.
That is very fascinating. And does the technology run on batteries, or do you have to be connected somewhere
It is
for you to use it? But let me tell you why I'm asking. They are definitely individuals who don't necessarily live in the United States, who live outside of the country, that may be interested in it.
Absolutely.
So it's important to know how the technology works. So talk to me about that.
It's an internet app, and so if people choose to order the app, there are 2 different ways they can do that. One is for family use, where you get like 100 treatments, and the other is for practitioners who get like 1,000 treatments. And but basically, it's internet based. So once you get a subscription to it, you go into Google or whatever you're using to log on. You put in ALICE.com, and then you have it. And you're given a code by the company so that you can access the program. But people can access it anywhere. They've been using this worldwide for the past 2 years. So it's very, very easy.
That's good. That's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah. It's very easy to access.
That's very good.
Yeah,
So let me ask you then. Is it strictly for certain kinds of health concerns, or does it cover everything? Can you use it for everything, or just specifically what is listed?
I don't know if it's everything. And the other part of this is that Dr. Peters is continuing to make new to address new health issues. So every time he'll tell us, oh, I've uploaded such and such, and we look at, because it's on the internet, we don't have to do anything. We just look down at our system, and voila, it's on there. So I'll give you I'll read some of the things that it addresses. Let me go back. There's an alpha male enhancement. There is digestive aid. There's E-man athletic support. So before a male, a gentleman would go and do his regular exercise routine, he would use the E-man athletic support. There's also a female one too. If I go down the list, E-woman athletic support. There is the online therapy sessions that I mentioned that scan the full 11 systems of the body. There's arthritis aid. There's blood detox. There's cardiac remediation therapy for people who are having heart issues. Cold and flu, which is a 5-minute program. So it's the cardiac one. There.
Let me ask you. This is really quite. Do you have testimonials from people who have used it, and what have they said to you? Now I have a picture here. I have a video. May I?
Yes, please.
This is something about a young man who deformed a bit and is unable to. So let me see. Let me play that. You can talk to us about what happened with this young man. Can you talk to me about that?
That one was a baby that was born with the feet inverted. So the feet are upside down. Normally, we're looking at the bottoms of the feet. We should be looking at the tops of the feet. when the baby is in that position, or more flipped over rather. And Dr. Peters was able to help this baby with one of the programs, and sometimes he'll do a combination of programs. I'm not sure what the combination was that he used, but after like I think a half an hour, the feet actually inverted, which you may have another picture of what happened after the treatment session. There it's still upside down, and then there's another one with the with the feet on the mother's leg for the first time ever.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I was not able to include that, but you can talk to us about that.
oh,
What
well,
happened eventually?
it basically worked because the feet flipped over, and the child was able to. That child is probably walking now. I think this may have happened, over a year ago that particular incident occurred, and of course the family was very excited and happy. There are folks who have had issues around heart problems and stroke, and a number of very serious things that this has helped them with. Again, it's natural plant frequencies. It's nothing that's being infused physically. There's no. While Dr. Peters does have a whole series of tinctures and things that he has put together, treatments that are for those same health issues. Now that he has A.L.I.C.E, he says, well, you don't really need the you don't need the drops, or you don't need any of those other things. And as I mentioned, drops. There's another way that people can take these, can get these frequencies. They can actually use a small bottle of water, purified water, whatever good water source you have, put it in a bottle dropper, half an ounce to an ounce of water, just a small amount. And you put the bottle on your phone or on your tablet, and the frequencies go right into the water when you're running the program, when you're running the supplements. So you can actually then take those drops, and it'll say for each of the supplements, for each of the areas, it will tell you, take 3 drops, 3 times a day or twice a day, and you get the same benefit as holding the phone to your chest and listening to it. And on that point, I know when I think our first conversation, I asked Dr. Peters, I said, whoa, you're putting the phone on the chest. I mean, what about EMF rays? What about, contamination by EMF rays? And he said, nope, our system takes care of that. It totally breaks up the rays, and they do not impact people. There are no harmful rays that are going into folks because of putting the phone on your chest. And I was really happy to hear that he had thought that far ahead to be able to protect people from EMF rays, which can be very right. So, I mean,
very damaging. Well, also, I also have a picture that you shared. I thought that was really interesting. This is a let me remove the banner.
yes.
This young man evidently had a really messed up leg. How in the world did this solve this problem?
That was like a diabetic ulcer. And which, can you move that up a little bit?
I'm sorry, it's not showing any better than this.
Not. It's okay.
I
Well,
tried. It's not letting me do it. I tried.
the bottom picture, and I think it's a woman. I see it is a woman. I see nail polish on her toes, and I'd heard the story about her, but she had like a diabetic
A lot of
ulcer.
sores on her leg. Yeah,
And
big ulcer on her leg.
after several of the treatments, and again, I'm not sure exactly what combination he used, but whatever he used helped to dry up that diabetic ulcer. That person might have lost their leg had he not done this particular treatment. And that it reminded
So
me.
this treatment was using this contraption, right? It wasn't something different that he had to do.
Right. And it's, and again,
Is
it's
that,
not,
is that right?
and again, it's an online app. So you're basically just getting the frequencies, whether you're using your phone or your tablet, or you're getting it through the phone, you know, from somebody sending you. People who have this, who have the online app actually can charge people to get the A.L.I.C.E over the phone. So practitioners are doing that, but even people for home use, I heard that, you know, some people are doing that because it's been so effective that they want to share it with people that they know, friends, family, clients. In some cases, the practitioners are definitely working with clients using this, and people that I have a lot of respect for here in Atlanta. Some of the top naturopathic doctors that I know have purchased in and are using this as part of their regimen to work with clients. So
Okay, you know what? Before we go any further, because we still have a lot to talk about, I just want to let everybody know this is Dr. Ma'at's birthday. This is the day that she graced this world with her presence. Happy birthday. We were born the same month. I'm the 2nd, you're the 12th. So
yeah,
you're a very precious person. Somebody saw me. I met somebody at the store, and my husband took me to a restaurant. No, it was my son actually that took me to a restaurant. And there was another gentleman who was born in October. So I told him that, you know, God created so many different people, but on this special day, this special month, He created you and I. So, so we are very
absolutely.
special. Happy birthday, Dr. Martin. Happy
Thank
birthday to
thank
you.
you
I
so
have a
much.
question.
Happy birthday to you too. So I mean, we celebrate for the whole
Yeah,
month. It's
thank
not
you.
just right.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, I want to ask you: Is this product? Is there particular demographics that's showing more interest in this technology? Or are you finding out that in general everybody seems to be interested in it?
Everyone seems to be interested in it. Once they hear about what it does and you run a sample on them or whatever, um, it's pretty, you know, it speaks for itself. It doesn't have to be happy. Thank you, Nettie. Nettie's saying happy birthday. It doesn't, you really don't have to do
Right.
a lot of marketing with this. It's like if you use it, thank you, Zainab. If you use it and it works, then people want to know. They want to know more about it. I've had a friend who was in Alabama, and she asked me if I would run a program on her because she wanted to try it and see it. She does massage therapy and some other things, and I ran it on her. I ran her the 15-minute Alice online treatment. And at the end of it, I could hear she was almost in tears. She said, Dr. Imani, I had sciatic pain really bad up and down my back before you started, and the pain is gone. I'm like, seriously? Because I was surprised because I no
Oh my
expectation.
goodness.
Just try it. And I said, it took care of your sciatic pain? She said, yes, it's gone. I called her the next day. I said,
Wow.
how's that sciatic pain? Did it come back? She says, no, it's still gone. I called her the next day. I said, did the sciatic pain come
Oh,
back? And she said, no, it's gone. She said, I want to get a subscription to that because I want to use it. She said, I've never seen anything like that.
wow.
And that has been the case with a lot of people. I mean, it's just, to me, it's just an honor to be able to share this with people and to see them get relief, like with the constipation, with the sciatic, with the needing sleep. Um, there's a one for the eyes, and he has little cute names that he's made up for these different treatments. So I think the eyes is eye drops be clear, or eye drops be gone, eye drops be clear. Let me see. I'll tell you what it is. Eye drops alphabetical, so I should be able to find it. Mostly alphabetical. Eye drops be clear, and there's one for weight loss. Master Herbal Trim, using plant frequencies to help you lose weight. Now, I haven't
Okay. Well, there'll be a whole
used
lot of people fighting for that.
I need to. Hi, Leslie. Thank you for the happy birthday, happy solar return greeting. I haven't, I haven't really used it for that, but I have to, I still have that last 15, 20 pounds that I want to lose. So that is also, I know that we did a call one time and people who had been using it for a couple months. This one woman said, yes, I've used the Master Herbal trim. And she said, I've actually lost a couple pounds. And I was like, yes, that is so good. How many people wouldn't want that? I mean, so many of us. So, I mean, to have something where you could press.
Well, let me ask you. Just let me ask you, as a health educator, how do you think that healthcare technology is evolved to be? You know, it used to be people going to the doctors for the most part and taking recommendations and going home and then, you know, taking drugs and what have you. How do you see healthcare technology evolving, and where does A.L.I.C.E fit into the picture?
I think, I mean, first of all, we're going in the direction of AI. I mean, whether we like it or not, I mean, many of us were very skeptical. AI, oh my goodness, you know, I don't trust it. You know, as we're going into the world of the unseen, and you know, it's not to be trusted. And if you think about it, as we're typing a text message on our phone, as we're typing it, the phone is giving us ideas of what we're saying, and a lot of times it's right. It's like, wow, how'd you know that I wanted to say that? And so we're using AI every day. And in terms of the medical field, I mean, we're going in that direction anyway. I mean, there's lasers that doctors use for surgery. I mean, and the lasers are using light frequency. And med beds. There's a lot of talk about the coming of med beds. I have one naturopathic doctor in Atlanta who has a med bed, and it really is like it's like a I don't know, it's like Scotty beam me up. You know, you're on the bed and it's twirling and there's light frequencies going on and there's sound frequencies. So it's already being used. And, you know, either we're going to stay with the times or not. And again, this is not to replace what doctors do and what nurses do. I mean, if you get hit by a car in the street, you definitely want an ambulance to come and take you to the hospital. Okay, so we're not replacing it. I mean, there are a lot of things that this type of technology is not going to do up front. But as you're healing from your wounds, you can use some type of technology to support you in healing and getting better. So yeah, I mean, I see it being used in combination with allopathic medicine, traditional medicine, and there are lots of opportunities to use it by itself.
Okay, so my question, that is so very, very important because personally, as you get older, obviously, you have this ache here and that ache there, and we have a tendency to immediately run to the doctors. Okay, you know, but it could be some things that this kind of technology can help with.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes, I hear you.
And one more thing. Do you find thus far, what are the challenges that you have come across in terms of trying to share this technology with people? Have you come across any kind of resistance, or share that with us?
Well, I do a number of things, and I'm sort of a integrative health practitioner. I use a number of different technologies. We have this huge red light bed that's amazing. And so, you know, I share rather than trying to convince people that this is something they can do. You know, if I'm talking to someone and they have a particular issue, I'll say, you know, we have this A.L.I.C.E AI technology that might be helpful. And so because of my gentle approach and how I integrate it into everything else I'm doing, people are usually very open. And I haven't had anyone say, there might have been one person online who a friend had put online and they really didn't have a lot of information. And like I said, a lot of people are afraid of AI. And I think this woman says, oh, no, I'm good, and just got off the phone. But she didn't have the kind of discussion that we're having it during this podcast, or, she didn't have the information to make an educated decision about whether or not she wanted to try it or not. So but most people have been very open, and people are looking for options. One of the most recent additions to the A.L.I.C.E AI program that Dr. Peters has added is one for telomeres. So I don't know if people understand what telomeres are. At the end of our chromosomes it's like a band that it basically works with our DNA. There are changes that happen all the time, and our telomeres are very important, and they're an indication of how healthy we are and how old we are. They say that we've looked up some studies, and they say that Black men have the shortest telomeres, which means the shortest lifespan, right? And in Dr. Peters' work, he's figured out how to come up with one of the treatments that actually help to enhance the life of the telomeres, which is major. It is really, really major. So and it affects, you can see it in your skin, you can see it in your face, you can feel it in your body. As you're running this 1 minute telomere program, it's like, wow, it's like totally anti-aging. And most folks say, well, what does anti-aging mean? It's science. This is not, it's not an imaginary kind of thing. It's actually hard science. So if you're impacting the telomeres, you're impacting people's vitality and their energy and their life force. So we run telomeres every day. My husband and I, we'll be going to sleep and say, run telomeres for me. Okay. And we run it and fall asleep. So there are lots of things on there that we're playing with. There's a statement that says, boomers are especially skeptical of technology, but education is the key, and Dr. Imani does an excellent job of teaching folks. Thank you so much, Linda Goss, dear friend of mine. Thank you for watching. Yeah, there are young folks that are skeptical. And my doctorate is in education. It's in health education, because that's how I approach health and wellness, as an educator, as a teacher. And so I really enjoy doing the research, sharing with people. That's what my Healthy Haiku program is all about, teaching people to use poetry and creative arts to enhance any education program, so that it's not boring, so that you can play with it and have fun. So that's a little bit of who I am, and I think that's important. When we try to force something on folks, there's going to be resistance. It's like, no, here's this other new thing, and I don't trust it. I don't want to. So a lot of it has to do with,
particularly now, there's a lot of but particularly now, there's a lot of concerns about AI, and that's obviously from people who don't understand it. I'm not versed in AI, I've got to admit that, but there are some individuals that have ethical questions and the like. So my question to you, does A.L.I.C.E have ethical considerations that they use in developing and marketing this technology? Is there something specifically that they let the public to know what the ethical considerations were during the development of this contraption, so that they know, for those who
one of the things that I think about when I think about Dr. Peters and the A.L.I.C.E AI is Many of you know about Dr. George Washington Carver. You know, people think of him as the peanut man. You know, he did all these experiments with peanuts, but also with so many different plants. And I mean, he was out in the woods hugging trees at 4 in the morning and getting information from the plants and from the trees. And so, you know, for someone to figure out how to take frequencies that are healing, that are living, that are life-giving, and share that with people to enhance their own health and wellness. I mean, you know, there was no one experimented on. There were no animals that were experimented on, you know, for this technology. Normally, when we think about ethical concerns, we think about who was harmed when this technology was created, or who can be harmed because of using the technology. And there have been no incidences of people harmed because of the technology. Now, of course, a lot of people are desperate, and they may have tried many things, and their bodies are truly. We were on a call recently, and there's a gentleman who was referred to me, and he mentioned, gosh, probably about 7 or 8 major things that were happening with him. And, you know, in my mind, I was thinking, he needs to get to a doctor, you know, because we don't want someone to turn around and say, oh, you know, I used that A.L.I.C.E and it just made me worse, you know. And if you're already critical, you need to get to a doctor, you need to get to the hospital. And we will, and we tell people that, you know, we will work with them if, and we have consent forms and disclaimers and stuff, so that people understand this is, it may help, it may not help. It has helped a lot of people. And if you're one of those small percentages that it doesn't help, then, you know, at least you know that going in, that it may or may not help you. What is your opinion about immunization shots? This is not about immunization shots, so we're not even going to talk about that.
That's right. Huh?
No disrespect, but this is not about immunization.
You don't get into that. Okay.
It's about plant frequency based treatment. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, I know people talk about ethical considerations when it comes to the use of animals, you know, and such. But is there any, how does A.L.I.C.E ensure sustainable practices in sourcing plant materials and frequencies? Is there any issues there? Yeah, we're using plants. Yeah, but are there any ethical considerations how you source the plants that you use? Or
I don't think so. I think that's a good question for Dr. Peters, but I don't think he's harming any plants. You know, the plants give us nutrition naturally. You know, I mean, if you're on a plant-based diet, you're eating lots of veggies and lots of fruits, you know, that are here to be our primary food, if you will. A lot of us are eating too many processed foods that our bodies really don't know what to do with, and are often the root of diseases, some of the common diseases and the chronic diseases, the hypertension, the diabetes, the heart disease. So much of that can be addressed by changing our diets. And so this is almost like another way of impacting your diet, because you're getting frequencies from plants that are there for you to support your body naturally. Does that make sense?
oh, yes, it does. I have a question though. Do you have like a recommended kind of plant that people should use in the plant?
I don't, but A.L.I.C.E tells you which plants and which herbs and things were used in the different treatments, so that it's all there in the system. I mean, I love apples. I eat apples a lot, you know, and I know that you get a lot of minerals and nutrients from apples. Greens are good.
Do you eat it with peanut butter, Dr.
My apples?
I have a weird way eating apples. I can't eat apples without peanut butter. Yeah, I know it's weird, but I just have to dip it in peanut butter to enjoy it. So I'm not conflicting the good that is supposed to do me for me naturally. The peanuts
Well,
are supposed to be good as well.
yeah, I've never done apples with peanut butter. I do make smoothies, and sometimes I'll put in, and I haven't done it in a long time. I used to put in a little peanut butter with apples and greens. I mix everything in, and that's probably a violation of food mixing theory, because there's certain things that they say you're not supposed to mix together because they digest better without that other thing. So I don't even know if I want to try that, but now I'm curious about peanut butter and apples. Make sure they're organic. And
try it. You might like it. Happy birthday. You just discovered something new. Go ahead.
Thank you. On that note, when you buy fruits and veggies and they say organic, you want to check them because number one, if there's a code that's on your fruits and vegetables, if it starts with a 9, then it truly is organic, free of pesticides, free of GMO stuff. So you want to look for things that have a 9. If they have a 3, I think that means they have been genetically modified. If they start with a 4, it means they've been grown with pesticides, and your body's going to take that in, whatever was used to grow it. So you want to look for things with a 9. The other day, my husband bought some apples, and I don't know why, but they just looked a little different to me. And so I looked at the label. He wasn't here, and it said organic. And I said, "Oh, good, they're organic." And then, like, Spirit said, "Read the number," and the number started with a 6. And I'm like, "What is that?" I called them up. I said, "Do not eat those apples." I said, "I don't know what they are. They say organic, but they don't start with a 9." So, we can do a lot to just make sure that we're taking in the right things. A lot of natural water, whether it's alkaline or spring water or whatever, you want it to be a decontaminated source of water. A lot of us are not sick, we're just dehydrated. So, I used to do lectures on water, and that is a very, very important part of our nutrition. A lot of the elders, I mentioned the issue of constipation. A lot of elders are just totally dehydrated, so they're not passing the weight out of their system. And just drinking more water will help so many people. So that's and you notice I mentioned when I run the A.L.I.C.E, I'll encourage people drink a little bit of water, because water is a good carrier of frequencies. So there's so much, Dr. Wood. Yeah, there's so much people.
I remember when I was in your home. When I was in your home, the first thing you wanted me to do was drink water.
Yes.
Before we started the exercise. So yeah.
And I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm consistent about that. Any when people come in, the first thing I offer them is some water. Would you like some water? Because we have a really good source of water here. We have an alkaline system, then we have a pre-filter before it even gets to the alkaline system. So we know that people are drinking water that their bodies can use and absorb and create what happens when we give it a good source of water, which is the hydration, which is the detoxing, which is the elimination, all of that. I find on days that I drink a lot of water, I'll say today I'm going to double my amount of water that I'm drinking. And I find that I go to the bathroom more frequently. Elimination is just so much easier when you're hydrated. So people need to first and foremost, we talk about fasting also, but some people do dry fasting. I really don't believe in that. I'm like, at least drink water while you're fasting, so that it'll help with the absorption and the elimination of what's not supposed to be there and what needs to be eliminated.
Now, this may sound like a silly commentary from me, but I'm going to make it anyway. First of all, I'm going to Nigeria in in October of next year. We have a conference. I would like to invite you to come and be a
Yay!
speaker at that event. If you
I would
would be
love to.
kind enough to
I
go
would
with us,
love to.
you can talk to people about Alice. And why is that important? I hope you're hearing me clearly. I have a little,
I want you
I don't know
to
what's going on.
hold that
My,
thought 1 second because I need to run to the restroom. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry.
okay, okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she'll be back, but I think it's so really important that we look at all the opportunities available to us. You know, most of us, when we feel an ache and pain here and there, we run immediately to the doctors. Now, the doctors are good, obviously, but for the most part, doctors spend more time trying to cure, or not even cure, but trying to stall illnesses. Some of them they're able to cure, but a lot of it they stall. And this kind of thing does not require that you take medications, because you take these medications, some of them. And some of these medications, I, for one, I've had to give up on quite a bit of medications because of the side effects. So this kind of program, Alice, certainly would be some for my part, and hopefully for all of you who are listening, something that you may want to consider if you're able to use it, so that before you run to the doctors, maybe there's some minor things that can be, addressed, and then if you feel that you need to go to the doctor, certainly do that. Nobody's discouraging you from doing that. What I was saying, and you said to hold up for a moment, the conference in Nigeria, I think, and the reason why I'm saying this is there are lots of people who don't have access to the doctors, right? And so some of the things that they're experiencing that this can alleviate, right? They don't do anything about it, because some hospitals just can't even provide any kind of care whatsoever,
Right.
or the cost of providing care is more than if they had this. And you did tell us earlier, you're not a medical doctor. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is not to discourage people from going to doctors, but I'm talking about where you have people who don't have access
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to
I,
so to medical care. Can you see this as something that can sustain them while they look for medical attention, if
if
it's
they need it.
monetary?
Well,
What do you think?
I have found, and I've traveled throughout Africa. Nigeria is my African home because I've been there. I think the most. I've been there like 3 times, but I have found, and tell me if I'm wrong. I have found in even the remotest of villages, everyone has a cell phone, and I'm like, how is that? I was somewhere
Very
in
true, very true, very true.
yeah, I was somewhere in South Africa, and this was probably about 15 years ago, right? We were just beginning to hold cell phones with us all the time. And I met a young woman, and she had like the same model cell phone that I had. And I'm like, what? Really? She said, oh, I got the same phone. And so, in answer to your question, this is a way that people are helping their families. The other thing is that the first time I went to Nigeria, I was staying in a village, and everyone there had a rich relative somewhere. We would be in the village, and they would send a chauffeur limousine to pick us up. Yes, I'm here for Dr. Imani, and so and so and so and so, and they would take us to their fancy homes. So the people that have the money that they can afford, and a lot of people even in the villages could afford, the app is really inexpensive. It's not that expensive at all. But everyone there has
Yeah.
relatives, so and most people have phones, so it's a really easy way to assist themselves and their family members with getting these frequencies. They can help to make nice adjustments for them before or after seeing a doctor. So I think it makes sense. I mean, again, Dr. Peters and
Well,
staff, they've been working with people around the globe for the past 2 years, so it's already been done. People can call me if they want to get more information. I see you are We're almost out of time, huh? The number is 470-861-7266. And I'd be happy to share more information about A.L.I.C.E. and how you can get it to family and friends, not just here in the U.S., but around the world. Dr. Uwe, you say what?
Yes, absolutely. I think I froze for a minute there. I
Yeah,
was just saying that this is how they can get in touch with you. Is that the right number? Am I correct?
that's the
They
right
can use
number.
that to get in touch with you, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They,
Now let me make it a little.
yeah.
Okay, let me make it a little bit. Let me make it so that they can see it. It's a little bit more bold. And everybody, please take it. If you have a pen, by all means, take this number down so that you
Pretty
can
big.
get in touch with her because I think this is a wonderful program. But this is part one. Dr. Imani, this is just part one because we have to come back.
Okay.
There's
I'll
still
come
so
back.
much to talk about.
And sure.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think we
You must
might want to,
return because,
yeah, I'm sorry. I was going
go
to say
ahead.
we might have Dr. Peters come on too. I mean, because he's a wonderful, very humble person. You know, people may have questions for him
Absolutely.
that I can't answer. So I think that would make for a nice follow-up show whenever you like. He's here in Atlanta. I'm sure he will do it. I invited him to be on today. So if I said anything inaccurate, I'm sure he'll let me know. But I tried to represent the best that I
By then I have a whole new studio that will help me with my podcast. So
Okay.
it'll be good. It's going to be in November. It's going to be in November. I don't want to stretch it too far, so
Okay.
that but I have all kinds of programs lined up. But I'm certainly going to schedule you for November, so you come right back and share with people because there was quite a number of people on this program today, so it shows
Hmm.
me that people are very much interested in it, and
Yes.
so we definitely are going to invite you again. Please get in touch with Dr. Imani. It's so important that we follow through. Don't just go
Hmm.
away. Make sure that you come back and find out how you can. There's so much more she can still tell you. So much more. There's her number. Call her. Call her after this show. Don't wait too long. There's so much
Okay.
that she still has to share, or she can save that
Phone with me.
until next. Share a lot of it. So
Thank
anyway,
you.
I huh?
Thank you so much for inviting me on the show.
What did
I
you
was
say?
actually a little nervous before we started. I'm like, I have my own podcast. Why am I nervous? I don't know. I just a little bit of nervousness is good. But thank you so much for the opportunity to share.
Oh no, it's good. It's good. You did a marvelous job. I want to thank everyone. Let me just, I have a tendency to do this. So let me just thank everybody who was here today. I'd like to thank, let's see, I'll go down the line. Ukuna Ugochukwu, thank you. Ukuna said happy birthday to you. Udemezu Yudi on your hand. Thank you, Yudi, for being here always. Leslie Nicole Harmon, great morning, essential people. She said, thank you. She called us essential.
Thank you.
Okay. Ukuna Ugochukwu, Aline Fabio, I hope I'm saying it
My
correctly. She said
sister
happy birthday
Arlene.
to you.
Yay, Arlene.
Yudi again said happy birthday. So everybody quite realizes your birthday.
Thank you all
Yeah,
so
she
much.
was here today. Zainab Ahmed, thank you so much. Then Zainab she was watching from Nigeria. Leslie Nicole Hammond,
Hmm.
thank you all for being here. If I didn't call out your name, it's
Wow.
not because we want to be exclude you, but we want to thank all of you who joined us today. Dr. Mani, Dr. Mani, what are you planning for your day today? Anything exciting? You're going to go out and be spoiled? What are they doing for you today?
I'm not sure. I'm finishing. My grandkids are calling to say
Dr.
hello,
Mani,
happy birthday to me. Thank you all. Thank you.
oh,
Thank you. Oh, I love you all. Thank you.
that's beautiful.
I'll call you back. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
nice of them.
Well,
So
we owe each other. We owe each other lunch. We owe each
absolutely,
other lunch to
absolutely.
celebrate our birthdays. And
Let's
for
do
those
it.
of you out there, if this is your birthday month, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
And
to
I
you
hope
all.
that you have many, many, many more birthdays. Thank you all for being here. And thank you, Dr. Imani. We'll talk soon.